Welcome. Scott here. Today I am going to bring you another video on Black Clover Mobile. In this video, I will be covering the ongoing limited challenge event, the Plaitchidna raid for Season 10. Before I go into the guide proper, please do let me emphasize there is an importance of having PvE specialist units for the event. So do expect the effective team comps will be very restrictive. The fight will also features the concept called boss buffs, where you activate more potent boss buffs for more raid coins upon completing the raid fight. Now let me briefly cover on the key rewards that you should target for. The table on the left shows the level of battle power you need and the raid coins drop along with the first time raid coins clear. The key rewards that you should target is the SSR skill page enhancement material, which costs 500 raid coins. If you are in the process of improving your gear substats, you can go after the enchantment stone boxes. Please note that enchantment stones for accessory cannot be used for gear and vice versa. The shop also includes a cosmetic bubble effect for 500 raid coins. I won't recommend this for new players as getting the skill page dupe, will shards and enchantments are more important. This reward is more for those who have been able to clear the raid hardest difficulty on a regular basis. Lastly, we have the usual will shards which upgrade your unit's skill potencies from the shop. To get the skill page enhancement material along with all will shards, you will need a total of 860 raid coins. To get the enchantment stone chest, you need a total of 2140 raid coins. Other than the rewards, you can consider spending raid coins to buy stamina or yul. Now let's cover the mechanics of the raid boss. For the first phase, you will be fight the red debuffer Plaitchidna. The theme of this season raid is that the Plaitchidna has various immunity and removal skills. Try setting up your mages strategically according to your situation. For those who have fought the Plaitchidna in the previous season, there are some minor tweaks to the boss mechanics. The Plaitchidna can changes its type whenever it received damage from your party. The attribute changes from red power to blue technique to green sense and back to red power once you complete the cycle. Please do take note that combined attack count as 2 attacks. The first skill is Fierce Attack, which allows the boss to inflict 50% reduced defense debuff on a sense or green attribute type mage. The second skill is 3 Faces of Adversity, which is an AoE attack and inflicts 2 instances of continuous burn damage for 3 turns. The third skill is Poisonous Spray, which is another AoE attack. If the boss is in power or red attribute state, it will grant itself a barrier that equates to 25% of its max HP. Its special 3 Immugis Rage is an AoE HP attack. If the boss is in power attribute state, it will attacks after granting a 100% increased damage dealt buff upon using the attack. The boss have the following innate passives. Similar to all major bosses, it has immunity to status ailments. This current variant of Plaitchidna has immunity against reduced mobility, mobility depletion along with reduced speed debuffs. In short, you cannot cheese the fight with the infamous mobility drain team. The boss will grant itself Berserk once the battle has taken 40 turns. Berserk will result the boss raises its all attack stats and accuracy by 300%. You cannot block or dispel the buff. When Berserk is present, the boss attacks will gain 100% increased defense penetration. The boss will also remove any active immortality, barrier, or invulnerability buff before it attacks. In short, if you let the boss activate Berserk and give it a turn, it is a game over. The boss will get inflicted with 35% increased damage taken upon being attacked by an enemy at an attribute advantage. Please do take note that if you are able to target attribute weakness, your damage on the following turn will be greatly enhanced. If you bringing harmony units like Valkyrie Noelle, Grey or Spatial Mage Finral, they will ignore all the damage resistances and always deal attribute advantage damage. The boss will grant itself a 90% reduced damage taken buff upon being attacked by an enemy of the same attribute or an enemy at an attribute disadvantage. This will negate the next attack output. Now let's cover Phase 2. For the second phase, you will be fighting a green attacker Plaitchidna. Plaitchidna goes into a casting state for a fixed number of turns and then attacks with a powerful skill. Try to upgrade your allies to increase defense, reduce damage taken, etc. to defeat it. Similar to phase 1, the Plaitchidna can changes its type whenever it received damage from your party. The attribute changes from red power to blue technique to green sense and back to red power once you complete the cycle. Similar to all major bosses, it has immunity to status ailments, silence, and total silence mechanics. The first skill is Red Rain, which is an AoE attack. If it is attacking a technique or blue mage, it will inflict a 50% reduced defense debuff on the target. The second skill is non-attacking ability Body Enhancement, which will result the boss grant itself an increased speed level 3 buff for 3 turns. The third skill is Catastrophe, which is an AoE HP which causes the boss to grant itself an increased all attack level 1 buff after it initiates the attack. Its special 3 Immugis Judgment is an AoE HP attack. If the boss is in power attribute state, it will attack after granting itself an increased 100% damage buff. The boss enter into a charging phase on its second turn. The charging phase will last for 3 boss turns. Save your barrier and damage mitigation buffs on second or last turn of the charging phase so you can time the buffs correctly to tank its attacks. Similar to phase 1, Harmony units like Valkyrie Noelle, Grey or Spatial Mage Finral will have attribute type advantage, and they will always be dealing maximum damage regardless of the attribute type of the boss. Similar to phase 1, the boss have the same set of innate passives. With the basic boss mechanics covered, let's proceed to discuss on the boss buffs. For this raid, we will be introduced to the new concept of boss buffs effect. As the name implies, the boss buff will give the boss skills more effects which will make the fight difficulty a lot harder. You can select boss buffs at the battle preparation screen and receive additional rewards based on the number of selected buffs. Available boss buffs change randomly every day. One day boss buff effects apply to phase 1 while another day could be applied to phase 2. The table on the left shows the number of raid coins for each part and the number of conditions you have activated. If you activated 0 to 2 boss buffs, there won't be any raid coin bonus. The bonus will starts from 3 boss buffs onwards. The rewards of the coins will also accumulate. For example, if you clear part 3 raid with 4 boss buff conditions, you will get between 15 to 17 raid coins for the usual clear along with 18 raid coins for boss buffs activation. The 18 bonus coins consist of 6 raid coins for 3 boss buff conditions and 12 raid coins for 4 boss buff conditions. Clearing part 2 fight with all 6 conditions will give you 30 bonus raid coins. Clearing part 3 fight with all 6 conditions will give you 60 bonus raid coins. Clearing part 4 fight with all 6 conditions will give you 90 bonus raid coins. The table of the right shows the boss buff effect. The boss buff effect will apply to the boss specific skill. The boss buff application seems to affect either only on phase 1 or phase 2. As we are in early days of the raid, we might have a mix of the conditions or the game will just alternate the buffs per phase. So how should I do my grinding for the raid coins? In my opinion, I suggest you to do the highest possible raid part where you can activate the most buffs. Due to the bonus raid coins multiplier, clearing higher raid stages won't necessarily translate to more raid coins drop. To get the skill page dupe, you need to have a roster that allows you clear part 2 with 6 boss buff activation. In general, the key gimmick of Plaitchidna features the importance of doing attribute weakness damage. When dealing attribute weakness damage, your units will gain 35% damage boost, which can be a deal breaker whether you win or lose the fight. The boss will change its color when it is attacked. Combo attacks that deals 2 attacks will cause the boss to change its color twice. So when using the standard attribute units, you need to attack the boss until it reaches the state that is favorable for your attackers. As Harmony units have attribute advantage against the standard attribute types, they will always be hitting for attribute weakness. Thus using them will generally make the fight easier. If you don't have the Harmony units, you can still go the old school Ryunuke combo runs that I have done in the past seasons. On the other hand, Chaos units are in a disadvantage for this fight. However, please don't be surprised that they are still usable despite having this significant handicap. Of course you will need to compensate with good gear and complementary units to support the cause. I have equipped a full defense set for my secret agent Vanessa, but she still end up dying in my auto run despite I brought all members with damage mitigation. I will be showcasing 3 auto runs with my F2P account. Good luck with the event, bye.
How about this?